FC Seymour about the markets in China. And I'm sorry to be so general with this question, Gong Liang, but how much higher can the markets in China go before we see a real correction?
Yeah, the market is really high. I think recently in short term the market has responded very positively to the CPC because you can see the main tone from the CPC Congress has not changed. That stability is the key issues for the CPC's governing capability, and so the market responded very positively to this commitment for the growth of the whole market. I think the valuation in Asia is really overstretched, and I think, but it is not only the end of the bullish market. I think the market will still go up in the short term due to the strong momentum and the positive news from the central government that they will commit to the growth of the market and the stability of the social life.
We've seen banking stocks really surge recently, Gong Liang, but you see some risks according to because of the government's plans to, I guess, for further macro tightening measures and the impact that will have on the banking sector. Tell us about that.
Yeah, the banking sector, I expected another rate hike in short term due to, I think the CPI is still kind of very, very high in the second half year, even though some analysts estimate that the CPI will decline in December. And the macro tightening policy will not stop, but not be so harsh, because you can see the main tone from the CPC Congress has not changed. And I think that the banking sectors, the main problem for the banking sectors is not how much money they can get, is how much risk they can hedge when the market is down. I think for some very small medium-sized banks, they have to secure more deposits, and on the other hand, they should more be sensitive to the risks emerging from the mid-caps.
Speaking of risks, Gong Liang, I want to ask you about the Citic Bear Stearns story that we are seeing. I mean, why is Citic Bank, which is smaller than ICBC, taking on all the pressures of buying into a US company when ICBC told CNBC that it's solely focused on acquiring assets in emerging markets?
Citibank, you mean the Citibank, trying to bid for the 20% stake? The Citic Bank for the 20% of Bear Stearns. Yeah, I think to Citibank, it is a little different from the ICBC, because ICBC is the main power in the banking sector in mainland China, while Citic Bank, they have a large platform not only in China but also in some overseas branches. Their target is not only to focus in the mainland China. They also want to enhance their exposure overseas, especially when the Citic Securities just got the QDII license. So I think they will go further to overseas, and the 20% stake in Bear Stearns, I think it may succeed, because it's a kind of a win-win bidding. Because Bear Stearns still want to tap the Chinese market for a long time, since it has, I think it has lagged behind other investment banks in mainland China. And the Citibank, they have a very large intention to expand their portfolios overseas. So I think they will do more in that kind of issues.
Gong Liang, hi, it's Lisa in Singapore again. Just curious, how serious do you think Hu Jintao is about cooling off this market? Because they've intervened several times and things really have not slowed down that much. But many say that a strong stock market is good for him because it's a sign that things are going well in China.
I think according to the main tone from the Hu and the CPC's Congress, I think the main tone is still very stabilized, because the government really want to have to see a soft landing or a kind of a stable growth of the whole economy. So I don't expect that any harsh policies will be implemented. But here we need to take more notice on the emphasis on disparity and corruption, which I think may lead to more down-to-earth measures to curb pollution and speculation and some corruption. So I think that a lot of policies have been introduced into Chinese market for a long time, even as the property tax. But the main problem is the reform in the local government levels regarding arbitrary decision making to help further to implement the measures more effectively, and that I think that is the main fundamentals for all the policies implementations.
Well, thank you very much for joining us today. It's good having you on the show. That was Gong Liang, research analyst with CFC Seymour. Coming up on cash flow.